Welcome to Dragonfly Trading. My name is Carrie, and I'm a full-time trader in the crypto and Forex markets. Today's video is going to be an update on Bitcoin. Not a lot has changed, but we're having some movement here, and we're going to talk about it. Remember, this is not financial advice. This is just the way that I see the market. If you're interested in joining the Discord, the link is in the description below. It's the last way you can learn my system before the course comes out. The course will be very affordable, and I'm very excited to release it. Announcement will be made when it's done. I'm very, very close after a year of working on this. All right, let's get started. I have a channel around price action. I am expecting a move to the downside, and I'm hoping that the channel will hold. We have a lot of support coming in there, and we'll talk about what the counts could be if it does. On the daily RSI, if we can hold the bottom of the channel, we will high probability of having what I call reversal divergence. This is where price is making a lower low and RSI makes a higher low. There's a lot of divergences out there, but there's only two that is important to me, and that is reversal and continuous. You may call them something different, but it doesn't matter. We really need to see this on RSI on the daily time frame. We don't want to wipe that out. The bullish divergence that we had going upwards, and this was going downwards, we have used that divergence with this push to the upside that we've got. Now we need the reversal. All right, I'm going to remove the channel, and we're going to talk about the counts available. We know about the triangle. We've been talking about it for a very long time. It can handle another rollover into this support. If it comes lower, we do not want it to touch the trend line. Why? Because we do not want to move C over like this. In my bias, it would not be proper. Reason being is that triangles like symmetry in their waves, meaning that the A wave and the C wave like the same angles, and as you can see, that's a perfect angle. The B leg and the D leg like the same angles. And pulling the C over like this and saying that that's a C leg, it wouldn't be invalid. It just wouldn't be right in my book, okay? So I'd really like it to see it not come down and touch that trend line again. Roll over, fine. Hold this support and let's push up. This would end up being a three-wave move for D. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I'm partial to this count. This count is assuming that we're making a WXY and that all this price action is an X wave that is either done and we're on our way to making our partner leg for the W, or it is not done yet and it's going to be bigger. How does it become bigger with this count? Now what this count assumes, and let me see if I can get a little closer here. What this count assumes is that we have not used this leg yet. That all of this in the middle is a connector, and that we are going to give that leg a partner to the upside. This is how we get up there for triangle. And this also will how an X wave can get bigger. Even if we were to get up that high for the triangle, we have to take into consideration that it could still be an X. We won't know until this 3 waves happens and how deep it comes. The E wave, I would expect to hold either this support here, or worst case, this support. Okay? But it can still be an X. But we'll deal with that when we get there. Let's get this move to the upside. Okay? If we don't get the move, then X is complete. All right, I'm going to take this count off, and we're going to talk about this lower count here. This lower count. Like I said, it's assuming we haven't used this leg, and we're going to give it a partner. Now, the partner can be a running flat where it does not break these highs, which we have to take that into consideration because we're going to have to get back through all of this, which would be resistance. We would have to push through all of that to get up higher for the triangle. Otherwise, it's going to be a running flat. This is where X would set in. And then we would go to the downside. Now, the rollover. The rollover, if this inner count is going to be a WXY, I don't want to see it take out the 1.618. That is the maximum extension that a WXY should hit. On the 8-hour and the 4-hour, we are rejecting in the bullish resistance zone. As you can see, on the 8-hour, we bonked our head on 60. On the 4-hour, we bonked our head on 70. When this comes down, just like the daily, okay, if it comes down and it breaks the low, there's a high probability that we'll have reversal divergence on the 4-hour and on the 8-hour. This would come down a little bit. We'd have this upward motion. If this breaks the low, we would have this downward motion. This would give us the power not only on the daily, the 8-hour, and the 4-hour to push upwards for this yellow leg. All right, let's get in closer and let's talk about this leg. Because it all matters about this leg, right? I know that some are counting it as 1, 2, 3. This is a 4, and they're expecting a 5th to the downside. I don't see it as 5 waves. The reason being is because when you have a correction smack dab in the middle of 2 equal legs, you have a really hard time making an inner third out of that. Okay? I see this correction as 3, 3, 3 for a W. I see a running flat in the middle for X, and now I feel we're making a 3-wave Y. Even if it is 5 waves, both counts assume that the next direction is down. So the count isn't really that important. What is so important is what are we doing in RSI? What are the bullish and bearish zones doing? and what is price doing. Sometimes we get too hung up on the counts. Now in my system, I have what's called count overlaying, okay? And that is a very strong thing to do because you weed them out one by invalidations. But the most important thing is price action, RSI, and the zones, in my opinion. Okay, so what could happen here that takes us by surprise? Because we're expecting a rollover, or I'm expecting a rollover. I'm expecting this to hopefully hold and push to the upside RSI to make reversal divergence, okay? But things don't always go our way, correct? So we always have to think to ourselves, what else could happen here? We have a pretty strong rejection off the top, okay? But what if this Y finished here? And this is not a C wave, okay, because we're expecting this as A, B, C. And it's the start of something. Because we did hit the 1-to-1, and this could be a 3-wave move and be done here. So what do we need to look for? Well, we need to not break this low. We need to hold it. And we need to, let's see where this support's coming in. Right around in this area, 0.5 to the 618, we need to hold. So we need to make some type of 3-wave move that holds in this area and not break this low. I would like to see some bullish divergence on RSI, okay, which we already have it here on the 1 hour. But if the 1 hour was to reset and this was to hold the upward motion, if the 4 hour was to come down to 30 to 40 to 50 zone and hold, then we need to be thinking that this could be the start of something. And this is a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. And it's the start of something, not the end of something. Okay? And we would be thinking upside. So I hope this brought some clarity of what to look for. Remember, it's not financial advice, it's just the way that I'm looking at it. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.